Manly for the well-groomed man of the 90s. Manly gently removes unsightly nose hairs, and because Manly takes the hair from the root, you can go longer between trimmings. Manly's patented lift and yank action gently lifts and yanks the hair from the root. Manly's turbine rotary blades cast a gentle breeze over your face. Manly for the well-groomed man of the 90s. Sold at fine stores everywhere.
Manly.
Manly for the well-groomed man of the 90s.
For the well-groomed man of the 90s and beyond, because we're beyond the 90s now, as good as they were. Well, we're into the big 2000s now, 2020s. Boy, time just keeps on ripping away, doesn't it? Just keeps going so fast. It goes at the speed of time, it seems. Well, welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going on a quest for truth together. Well, guess what? It's Friday night, and everything's right for the weekend. Crazy clothes and anything goes on the weekend. Oh, yeah. Here we are, putting a big old dent in that big old weekend, as we should. Well, I hope you all had a very wonderful week, and I hope you all are going to have a wonderful weekend. I got to say that this might be the last show I do for a little while, because I will be traveling to Minnesota for Thanksgiving with my mother and family. And so for the next few shows, I won't be here. I don't know exactly when I'm coming back. I will miss Wednesday's show and Friday's show, and I'm not sure about beyond that. So I'm really sorry about that. I don't have a confuser I can bring with me to do shows there. I used to have a confuser that did, but that died on me, so I only have this confuser. And yeah, I just don't want to tear it all down and rehook it all back up, because that's just too much. So there you go. And I will hopefully be back before too long, but hopefully I'll be able to spend enough time with my family, so that, because I'm so far away from my family. Well, not that far, one state away. But anyway, anyhowser, well, I'm glad that you're here today. And if you're wondering what happened to my show, the last show I did on YouTube, there were 3 copyright strikes on it. And I think I just removed all of the things, the 3 different things that were on there. And if you ever want to see my show totally as it was done, check the Rumble channel, the official Rumble channel. It's in the description box below, because they don't do that. So you'll see the show exactly how it was done without anything taken out of it. So there it goes. And there you have it. Well, let's cruise on over to Chatlandia, where we're going to see who is over there chatting all over the place. Shall we now? Let's go. And it's Weiss123. That's Catherine Weiss. She's one of our Ultra mods. And she says, "Hi, Aaron." And then she says, "I'll be over on YouTube tonight." And then Kathy says, "Hi, Peggy." Then I said, "Hi, Kathy." I forgot to say, okay. And over on YouTube, I said, "Hello, Truth Questers." And then, let's see, Kathy says, "Hi, Aaron," over on YouTube. And then I said, "Hi, Kathy," over on YouTube. And then look who else is here. Why, it's Cap 78 Pack. That's Peggy Dancer, another one of our Ultra mods. She says, hi, Aaron. Hi, at Waste123 Kathy. And then Peggy Dancer says, hi, Aaron. Hi, Waste123 Kathy. I'll be on Rumble. Okay. That's over on YouTube. She said that. And then I said, hi, Peggy. And look who else is here. It's our good friend, Knock My Socks Off. And she says, howdy, friends. Truthquestwithaaron Moriarity at Cap 78 Pack at Weiss123. And Kathy says, hi, Peggy. Hi, Peggy. And then I said, oh, can I be careful where you press on these things? Then I said, hi, Peggy, over there on YouTube. And then Cap 78 Pack says, Peggy Dancer says, hello, Knock My Socks Off. And then I said, hi, Knock My Socks Off. Socks get knocked off every time she comes on. And then Knock My Socks Off says, betwixt a dying kitty, oh, I'm so sorry to hear, and 2 kittens and a still very active dog, LOL, laid down, thinking it was like an hour, woke 2 kittens, looks like a really bad storm fixing to hit. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope that you ride the storm out okay. It was 5 p.m. nightfall. I'd slept a solid 3 hours. Well, you probably needed it, right? Your body knows when it needs it. And then Knock My Socks Off says, Mama Cat, only one, no extra work right now. Oh, good. And then she says, I'm in near constant state of exhaustion. Oh, my. Well, maybe, you know what I do whenever I'm really tired, and maybe you can, maybe some of the viewers here can take this little bit of advice. Whenever I'm really tired, but I have to be ever present in something, I take tiny little naps every time I blink. Yeah, it's kind of a dad joke, but it's one of mine, so I'm very, very proud of it. So sorry to hear about your dying kitty at KMSO, and praying for the kittens and you too, says Peggy Dancer. Well, that's very nice. Thank you. Styx is the only one dying. This is his 3rd stroke. Oh my. At death's door it's open. Oh my. Ready for him to pass through. He simply refuses, then recovers. Only now I think he may be on the last one. Well, they have 9 lives, they say, right? And then she says, I can't put him down now. He's made so many efforts to stay. I'll not go against my knight in black armor, Styx. Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. And then Cap 78 Pack. Yeah, sounds like my puppy that I had to put down in July, KMSO. Still crying over the loss. Oh, my. Pray Kitty goes over the Rainbow Bridge. Oh, that's a sweet way to look at it. Oh, look who else is here. It's Chronaviewer. Hello, Chronaviewer. I got to say hi to Chronaviewer. Hi, Chronaviewer. Oh, and I'll also say hi to Mrs. Pinkerton because she's in the house too. Awesome. So hello to you both. And then Knock My Socks Off. Cap 78 Pack in prayers. I asked Jesus to send his 100-pound best baby mama boxer, black lab, to come escort back with him. Oh, that's nice. This cat is a miracle, truly. Oh, and welcome to the show, Ricky Parker, J9s. Good to see you here. And then Cap 78 Pack says, hi, Chronaviewer. and knock my socks off. He came back with full independence from the other two strokes. Just could jump, or he couldn't jump anymore, or be outside alone. This time it's much worse. Aw, couldn't. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. That's what I thought you meant. Well, it's all for a good reason. At Aaron, it's for your family, and they come first always. Yes. Now, my daughter and her two kids, two of my grandkids, were going to come too, but she just got the kids back today, and little Chloe's a little bit sick, so we don't want to. She doesn't want to travel with her if she's sick. Thanks, Peggy. And then Carnivore says, "Hi, Cap." And look who else is here. Why, it's Joel Menendez. Say UWU Pokey and I'll sub. Okay. UWU Pokey, whatever that means. Thanks for the sub. By the way, if your first name is Joel, that's a really good name because that's my middle name. That's right. He said it again. Say UWU Pokey. I don't know what that means. He says it 3 times. He's saying it a bunch of times. And Xana P9X, hi. Welcome to the program. Yeah, I said it, Joel. You can stop clogging up the chat with saying the same thing over and over again. That might be a bot, that Joel Menendez. I don't know. It looks kind of suspicious. And Kathy says, "Hi, knock my socks off." And Mrs. Pinkerton says, "Hi, Aaron and all my friends. Good to be here tonight with you guys. It's good to have you here too." And knock my socks off. I have a beer in fridge. I think it's Corona. Who knows how old it is? LOL. Yeah. Yeah. Barley pop, they call it. "Hello, Cap 78 Pack," says Mrs. Pinkerton. Then Cap 78 Pack says, "Hi, Mrs. Pinkerton." And then Kathy says, "Hi, Chroniviewer." And then I said, "Hi, Chroniviewer and Mrs. Pinkerton." And look who else is here over on YouTube. The Cool Ariz says hi. Welcome to the program. And then Kathy says, "Hi, Mrs. Pinkerton." And then the Cool Ariz, Aariz, says hi. And let's see, boy, got a lot of them today. Then knock my socks off. Are you sure Joel Menendez isn't a shill? I think he might be a shill. Those are bots. Don't interact, please. Yes, well, it's hard to tell for a little while there. And Marcus GP. "Hello, Aaron, Joel, Moriarty. What are you talking about today?" Well, we're talking about a lot of stuff, I guess. Stick around and you'll find out. We're always questing for the truth over here, so we'll see what we can find. All righty. Okay, so let's cruise on over to a cozy little spot we got on the internet called the Book of Faces, or the Land of Zuckers. You can choose to call it whatever you want to call it, but that's what we call it here. Did you know that? And here is the thumbnail for tonight's show, and it's a picture, allegedly a picture of 3-Eye Atlas, which miraculously keeps changing shape. This, I don't know what this all is here. It looks very strange, very dusty. But so there it is, 700. We're number 700. How do you like that? Yes, I know that one's not from NASA, but we're not getting anything from NASA, but just some crappy crap. Oh, and here we are on Rumble. Rumble is free speech, so all you people on YouTube, you want to see the episode in its full entirety, watch them on Rumble, because they don't censor anything. They don't take anything out. YouTube does. And also YouTube eliminated 2 of my episodes, episode 11 and episode 15. They're still on my Rumble channel. So go over there and see what they don't want you to see. Oh, did you hear about this? Objects spotted at sea near U.S. coastlines. Check this out. UFOs. We talk about UFOs a lot here too, as much as we
keep your eyes peeled for all domain anomalies, ADAs, because apparently these mysterious objects aren't just flying anymore. They are up, they are down, they are even in the ocean. Seems thousands of the unidentified objects are reported every year, not spotted in the sky, but instead spotted in the water. Since 2022, an app called Enigma has tracked more than 9,000 water-based sightings within 10 miles of U.S. coasts, and they're plotted on these maps. The anomalies were shooting out of the water, or they were hovering over the water, or they were diving into the water, and get this, usually without making a splash. Okay, Ben, the video that we were just looking at, my first thought was, that's got to be divers, right? It's got to be divers with those neon lights. And then I thought, no, not at night without a dive boat. That's really dangerous. What did you make of it when you saw this?
Exactly that. I mean, I'm a master diver. There's nobody around there with a dive boat, with a dive flag, anything like that. I like to dive at night. Some people go lobster diving. It is still possible. This particular one, we haven't had time even to get out there to go check this out in the field. But you start looking at, the number of sightings that people are having in these locations, and putting it all together, it just doesn't make sense that so many people, are unable to. I don't know. The UFO thing has been, always people focusing in the sky, right? And so it's kind of like now that we're shifting to USOs, a lot of people are wondering if this is a new phenomenon or not, and it really is not. It's the submerged objects have been since the beginning. When we started reporting, remember we had these pilots that were seeing them in the water off of Catalina, and air traffic controllers were telling us that pilots were witnessing this glow, sometimes the size of a city. So here you have this Fort Lauderdale case. It's a lot smaller, but it's really hard to say whether we're looking at a natural phenomena. These definitely not like phosphorus and algae. It's nothing like that, and it definitely doesn't explain how people are seeing the objects come up out of the water and zip out, and these huge like flaps have been going on for decades.
unidentified submerged objects. Yes. Oh, fun fact. Australia's biggest export is boomerangs. It's also their biggest import. They come right back. Can't get rid of those things. Oh, and thank you, Kathy, for putting out that. Please like and share this video with your friends, family, and social media, because it helps the algo rhythm and the algo beat and the algo melody too. Don't forget about the algo melody. They always talk about the algo rhythm, but not the algo melody or the algo beat. So do that. So thank you, Kathy. That was from Dad Jokes. Yes, he's a Democrat. Yep. Robert Aaron, political memes, put this out. Epstein files explode. Democrats exposed as Epstein's true allies, while Trump stands vindicated. Oh, yeah. Oh, and here is the Aurora Borealis from space, from the International Space Station. Watch this. at that. It's just gorgeous. Isn't that lovely? Oh, yeah. Oh, what's this? Hakeem Epstein. Look at that. Oh, wow. Look at that. Maybe Hakeem is just Epstein with a tan. Maybe. You never know. Oh, what's this? Oh, I got to lengthen it. From the thin blue line strong, they suck the Western welfare systems dry, outbreed to become a majority, lobby for their own laws, and take over. That's what the Islamists do, and that's why they need to not be here. Don't let them. They can go back to where they came from. Oh, here's a Laura John Denani, Facebook conservatives put this out. The Amish before and after the deadliest pandemic in history. Yeah, with a 99% survival rate. The Amish before and after. Look at this. Why, they're the same. No one was lost. Imagine that. Yeah, because they don't get injected with poisons. Exclusive FBI concludes Trump shooter Thomas Crooks acted alone after unprecedented global investigation. Well, did they ever find his trans boyfriend? And what about all of that encrypted foreign contacts that he had? What about that? I just don't believe it. From Bongino Inc. In just something's not right. I don't know. Maybe they have another plan to get those people. I don't know. I would like to thank President Trump for all he has done for America and the world. Elon Musk, X, yes. He has done great. Breaking, President Trump suggests the U.S. military courts are looking into the Democrats' seditious statements to military. I think Pete Hegseth is looking into. I think the military is looking into it. The military courts. Oh, yeah. Remember what Q said, military is the only way. The Roundhouse Show. This is Lunch with Casey. Special part 5. If you grew up in Minnesota, there was a TV show back in the 60s and early 70s called The Casey Jones Show and Roundhouse Rodney. And it's very, very cool. Oh, here's an important message from Batman. Listen up, everybody. This is an official message from Batman.
Emergency. Batman speaking. Warning all of you to brace yourselves for big news.
The biggest.
Tell them, Robin.
Holy superlatives, Batman. It's really exciting. Soon, very soon, Batman and I will be batapulting right out of your TV sets and onto your theater screens.
The big screen gives us more space on land, sea, and in the air to challenge the most bataclysmic collection of super criminals that ever plotted to take over the world.
Holy memoranda, folks.
Emergency. Batman speaking. Warning all of you to...
Isn't that the bataclysmic? Wow. Thanks, Batman, for that very interesting message from 1966. Such a good show. Such a good show. And a very, very funny movie, too. A lot of humor and a lot of good civics lessons in that show. And... oh, we already saw this. What? How did that get in there twice? Everybody just point and laugh. Yes, point and laugh at the poor dims, the dimwits. Just point at them and laugh. At this point, yeah, there's a lot fewer of them than there are of us. The Hodge twins put this out. This is from David Schoen, Jeffrey Epstein's attorney. What does he have to say? Let's hear what Jeffrey Epstein's actual attorney says, if Jeffrey Epstein had any dirt on Donald Trump, he would have had great leverage in the criminal case against him at the time he died. In fact, the fact that he unequivocally said he had none ought to shut down the false claims. Otherwise, but facts are no obstacle to political attacks. That's right. Facts are no obstacle to political attacks. Diamond and Silk put this out. White House eyes plan to fast track tariff dividend checks. Oh, good. Before Christmas, maybe? Wouldn't that be nice? A cool $2,000, approximately $2,000. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? And here is Hakeem Jeffries invited Epstein to dinner to solicit money from him in 2013. Interesting, huh? And interesting how he won't answer the question directly. He just obfuscates and talks about Republicans. Yeah, he's Hakeem. Sounds like someone's harking a loogie. That's what his first name sounds like to me. The National Archives is publicly displaying the entire U.S. Constitution for the first time ever, including the rarely seen fifth page. Fifth page? I thought there was only 4 pages. Apparently, there's a 5th page. I wonder what's on that page. And here's another thing. The Constitution, I've always been told it's been 4 pages. 5 pages, 4 or 5. That's not very many pages. So why weren't we studying that in school? We had 12 years to study that. They didn't even, you just learn the preamble. That's it. That's all you'd learn. Missed opportunity to inform the public, I'd say. Oh, and what's this? Sierra Hotel Aeronautics pictured recently declassified U.S. and gun camera footage from unidentified aerial phenomena. Visual anomaly officially identified as refracted light from the planet Venus. Oh, yeah. Happens to look just like the Starship Enterprise. Of course, not really. That's kind of like a dad joke right there. Oh, and did you see Melania the other day? Melania Trump just broke the internet. She walked into the White House state dinner in a stunning emerald Elie Saab gown, and the entire room froze. America's queen is back. Oh, yeah. Just beautiful. Here's Hakeem Jeffries. Y'all got any more of them Epstein donations? Yeah, he needs more. He will need more because he's not a good politician, in my opinion. Without tariffs, we would be, let's listen to what Trump says.
Without tariffs, this country would be in such trouble, as they were for many years. That's why we owe $38 trillion. And one of the things we're going to do, we're going to issue a dividend to our middle income people and lower income people of about $2,000. And we're going to use the remaining tariffs to lower our debt. We're going to be lowering our debt, which is a national security thing.
Perfect.
Without
too cool for school, you might even say. Oh, here's from French Fuse. Check this out. Very melodic. Isn't that cute? There's music all around us if you listen. Oh, here's some interesting. The NSA hired me to decode alien signals. Sergeant Dan Sherman. Check out this. This is pretty interesting.
And he said, I'm going to play a tone, and I want you to mentally hum that tone. And he said that you will eventually feel a connection. The line will change. When I saw the sine wave move, I went, oh, okay, well, there's a mental disconnect there that's not supposed to be happening. That this is not possible.
Our guest today is an Air Force sergeant who worked at the highest levels on classified projects in electronics and signals intelligence for the United States government. We have thorough documentation of his military records. His service is not something you can really argue with, nor is his mental health.
This is the most nonchalant conversation I've ever had about alien telepathic communication.
In this exclusive long-form interview, retired Technical Sergeant Dan Sherman claims that while serving in the Air Force in the early 90s, he was recruited for an extremely classified program at the NSA, or National Security Agency. This program was called Project Preserve Destiny. Project Preserve Destiny's purpose? To telepathically decode alien signals for the NSA. You heard me right. Alien signals that seem to telepathically transmit descriptions of alien abductions across the United States. Alien signals that ultimately gave our very curious guest answers about the very nature of the alien presence on Earth, how these beings travel, how they conceive of time, what they think about humans, and much, much more. Dan Sherman was originally told by the Air Force captain who read him into the program that he was given this telepathic ability by the aliens themselves when they abducted Sherman's pregnant mother in the early 1960s and altered his genetics while he was a fetus in her womb. This genetic blueprint would allow him to grow into what the NSA would dub an intuitive communicator.
With the IC communication, you can feel it in your brain. You can feel, you can't localize it. It's not a localization, but I can feel like it's in that area of my brain right there.
Whoa.
And
Sherman believes the NSA may even have tracked him since childhood into his young adulthood and military service until he was finally read into the program.
Do you think that the NSA or powers that be know that this interview is happening?
Yeah.
Because of the extremely sensitive nature of this NSA program and its ties to black programs, Dan tries to abstain mentioning which bases this Project Preserve Destiny was conducted at. But my researchers and I were able to locate one of these bases, and I bring it up at the end of this interview, catching Sherman a bit off guard. Not only that, but at the end of this video, we explore an independent researcher's use of the Freedom of Information Act to learn more about Project Preserve Destiny. He sent a request to the government to see all of the files on it. As you'll see, both the Air Force and NSA's responses to his request are fairly telling. The point is, the skeptics can have at it, but this case isn't going away. It's very hard to dismiss. I'd argue that Dan Sherman's story is one of the most important UFO legacy program-related accounts we have to contend with. So sit back, relax, and prepare to have your worldview crumble with this week's very courageous American alchemist, retired sergeant, intuitive alien communicator, and UFO whistleblower, Dan Sherman.
And he said, I'm going to play a tone, and I want you to mentally hum that tone. And he said...
And that's it. There's a little teaser for you there. So that'd be a good thing to check out, I think. Stephen Miller says this is the first time this has happened in our lifetime. 2.5 million native-born Americans gained employment. 670,000 foreign-born workers lost employment over the past year. That's good. 3.4 million native-born Americans joined labor force. 708,000 foreign-born workers left the labor force. Oh, they're deported. We'll see you later. No, we won't see you later. And Cameron Greisen, Facebook conservatives, put this out. He is much worse than I thought. Epstein bombshell. Eyewitnesses expose Obama's ritualistic orgy empire on pedophile island. Trump's DOJ poised to crush the elite cover-up by Jonathan Gregory. Yeah, it's they're not good people. They are not good people. Yeah, Hakeem Jeffries. This is pretty cool. Apparently, this is supposed to show fourth dimension.
All right, this is the best demonstration I've seen of the fourth dimension. So just peek into it. Whoa, it's pretty sick, actually. Whoa, dude. Pretty crazy, eh? Your brain can't comprehend dimension. So that's the best fourth dimension demonstration I've seen before.
Oh, wow.
All right, this is the best demonstration I've seen of the fourth dimension. So
Okay, it's a bunch of mirrors. That's what it is. Oh, you want more bat action? How about some holy action? Check this out. Here's Robin. Burt Ward, he's still alive, and he's one of my Facebook friends. Check this out.
Holy epigrams. Holy vertebra. Holy keyring. Holy keyhole. Holy mesmerism. Holy pseudonym. Holy hydraulics. Holy floodgates. Holy Houdini. Holy hypnotism. Holy harem, Batman. Holy stalactites, Batman. Holy trolls and goblins. Holy jigsaw puzzles. Holy stampede. Holy epigrams. Holy vertebra. Holy...
So good. So entertaining. So entertaining. Dan Bongino, director. The director and I, in conjunction with our employees in the field, have emphasized taking down the 764 network. Oh, good. And I want to update you on a couple of the latest cases. So he goes over some of the latest cases. But if you've never heard of 764, it's a very demonic group of people, and they try to convince young people to harm themselves or others, and it's just disgusting. It shouldn't happen. All that crap should be just gotten off of the internet. That's my opinion. So there it is. There's our last show. So that's a quick little rundown on Facebook. The show that now you can see in its entirety on Rumble, but on YouTube, there's 3 of the most entertaining parts removed because of their little rules. Their little rules. Their little rules. Alrighty, Aphrodite. Well, I guess now we're going to go over to X, because X marks the spot for news. That's right. X marks the spot. Here we go. Here we are over there on X. And there is our 700th show. Number 700. I like that. Trump had None Shall Sleep performed live for Saudi Prince MBS's White House visit. Just days before he released the Epstein files, he called for mass sedition arrests. He said sedition punishable by death. Remember the mass arrest in Saudi Arabia following Trump's sword dance? Check this out. The hunters become the hunted. And this is from Hello George, about Liz Crokin from Ethios. For those who may not know, at Liz Crokin gave up everything to focus on saving the innocent. Could have kept a cushy job in media, but God called her to be a watchwoman. Was let go by Town Hall KP after her trafficking article became #1 viral story for them that year. She's had deep state actors break into her home and poison her food. Her dog was poisoned. She had to swiftly change locations due to imminent threats. She stands boldly as a warrior at Real Donald Trump. Liz for Garden of Heroes. I'll second the motion. Yes, they're going to have a statue park of heroes, and she should be one of them, definitely. Definitely. She also lost part of her finger, too. Oh, want your blood to boil? C3 put this out. Lawrence Reed was arrested at least 49 times over 25 years and spent around 900 total days in prison for violent crimes. Tina Peters was arrested 1 time and was sentenced to 8 years for catching the Dems cheat in 2020. Our justice system is broken. Yes, especially when you have criminals in Colorado calling the shots. Free Tina Peters. They put her in solitary confinement. Did you hear about this? Unbelievable. Tina Peters was just thrown into solitary confinement in her prison the day after she filed a complaint about a teacher who was verbally abusive. Tina is sick, and now they're punishing her more due to her complaining. And get her out of there. We need to get her out of there. Oh, my God. Happy Motorhead says, who is this? Well, it's Ratfink, of course. From Big Daddy Roth. Ed Big Daddy Roth. Of course, this is, I'm not sure if this, I don't think this is an actual Roth painting, but very reminiscent of Roth's art. Boom, House just voted 285 to 98 to denounce socialism and block it nationwide. Isn't that good? Isn't that good? Oh, and look at this. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. put this out. Remembering my dad on his 100th birthday. How do you like that? 100th birthday. Oh, and Cap 78 Pack says Liz Crokin is an awesome patriot. Yes, she is. And knock my socks off. Love Liz. She's a rock star. And Cap 78 Pack, Peggy Dancer also says, yes. Yes. Know all about Tina Peters' ordeal and been praying day and night for her. Yes. As we all have and should. Did you hear about this? Check this out. From Fox News, at least 2 people are receiving medical treatment after a fire was reported in the underground trolley system connecting the U.S. Capitol buildings and the Rayburn House office building. Oh, so tunnels do exist with trolley system. Oh, isn't that interdasting? Well, maybe they should check out all of the tunnels under DC and clean them all out. Lasers review ancient settlements in the Amazon.
Have revealed a complex network of pre-Hispanic structures and roadways hidden beneath the canopy of the Amazon.
Wow.
At 2,500 years old, it's the earliest and largest example of an agricultural civilization ever recorded in South America's dense rainforest. Archaeologists have been studying the Upano Valley site, located along a stretch of the eastern Andes, for several decades. However, it wasn't until they began viewing the Ecuadorian landscape using airborne LiDAR, in which thousands of infrared laser pulses are reflected repeatedly off the landscape to reveal structures hidden beneath the vegetation, that they realized how elaborate the civilization actually was. Archaeological excavations showed that the site, which covers approximately 230 square miles, was occupied from roughly 500 BC to between AD 300 and 600. Lasers reveal ancient settlements.
Isn't that interesting? Wow. It looks extremely vast and it's everywhere. Wow. It just so a society that developed can be just overrun by trees and vegetation. Isn't that weird? So what we have is not very permanent. And Juanita Broderick put this out. She's pretty awesome. Exactly 3 years ago today, my friend CatTurd2 tweeted this. I have been banned from Jack Dorsey's Twitter for almost a year. My crime was daring to tell the truth about the COVID jab. Within a few hours, Elon allowed me to return. Thanks, CatTurd, and thanks, Elon. And this is what CatTurd put out in 2022, 11/21/2022. Today would be a great day for Elon Musk to restore Juanita Broderick at Aiton's Nut account, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Yes, she is very good. She does great posts. 3i Atlas, holy Schmidt. Space Tracker dropped a 20-minute stacked composite, and it's not even close to a normal comet. A razor-sharp, perfectly symmetrical, star-shaped core, a blazing plasma halo, zero tail, none, gone. This is not a comet. Yeah, we don't know what it is, do we? Keeps changing shape, though. Here's something interesting. Buried high-voltage lines generate a magnetic field. Look at that. Dangerous for life, too, by the way. Look at that. Bizarre. Wow. Buried power lines can do that. Wow, I wonder how close they are to the surface. Probably not too far. Oh, meanwhile, on the sun. Wow. Yes. And knock my socks off. Maybe the sun is hell and they need evil souls to keep it burning so hot. Well, could be. Could be. Oh, and do you ever wonder what a dying star looks like? Check this out. Whoops. 26 hours after it explodes. Kablooey. Look at that. Here it comes. There you go. Interesting, huh? Kablooey, you might even say. Look at that. Wow. All that power. Look at this. A hiker captures his own shadow floating in the mountain. Look at that. Look at that. What a cool picture of yourself. Look at that. Very interesting. Very cool. Oh, hear this now. Fire at the COP30 Climate Summit in Brazil. It must be all that global warming that's causing the fire. Or maybe all of your paid arsonists practicing, maybe. Maybe at a practice session it got out of hand. Yeah. Another climate hoax. An Elon Musk comment to Alex Soros X post. Can you stop trying to destroy civilization for like 5 minutes? That would be great. Good one. I like that one. MJ Truth Ultra. Oh my God, look at what Trump posted. Look at Pepe. Pepe's pretty happy. Seditious behavior, punishable by death. Hang them, George Washington would. All retruths by Trump. Yep. Isn't that interesting? Interdasting, you might even say. Look how excited Pepe is. Pretty excited. We demand the Democrats who made the video be immediately charged with sedition. That's what it was, 100%. And here's the civilian law. Seditious conspiracy involves 2 or more persons conspiring to overthrow the government by force, oppose its authority by force, or similar acts. It is punishable by a fine, imprisonment for up to 20 years, or both. Military law, Uniform Code of Military Justice. Sedition occurs when a service member, in concert with others, creates revolt, violence, or disturbance against lawful civil authority with intent to overthrow or destroy it. It is punishable by death or other punishment as determined by a court martial. Yeah, thanks, Cat Turd, for putting that out there and looking that up for us. Breaking up, furious President Trump demands the arrest of Democrat senators and representatives who called for insurrection. Yeah, we already know about that. And here is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Did you hear she's going to be quitting early next year in January. But this is like when she was running at first. Listen to her. She's actually pretty cool.
Q is a patriot. He is someone that is very much loves his country, and he's on the same page as us, and he is very pro-Trump, okay? Now, he appears to have connections at the highest levels, all right? He's posted many things that seem to verify that he is the real deal, all right? So many of it's not just someone poking in the dark, messing with people. Q is trying to tell people on these forums and 4chan, and he's trying to tell people the truth. And he does it through questions, asking questions, and giving clues. And so it's basically, you know, you're going down the rabbit hole. You're following the fact, because we see all these sealed federal indictments, and we're seeing all these other things happen. And there's sources like, he's anonymous, Q is anonymous, but he seems to be completely for the good. He seems to be totally on Trump's side, and he seems to be very high up and connected. So because of those things, I'm becoming more hopeful, and I'm not being as pessimistic, and I'm trying to stop saying it's never going to happen, because I really think it might happen. So I'm very excited about that. Now, there's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to take this global cabal of Satan-worshiping pedophiles out. And I think we have the president to do it. And so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. And she hasn't changed. She had to publicly denounce her Q following, but she had to do that because she's just endured. She's been swatted like 100 times or something like that. So you can understand why she wants to get away from this disgustingness of Washington. But yeah, I think she might be a VP pick eventually. She is a good patriot. I think she is. She might not be as smart as some people, but I think she is a patriot. Just in, President Trump and J.D. Vance not invited to funeral for Dick Cheney. Imagine being named Richard and choosing the name Dick. Now, just call me Dick. Yeah. And Bush Jr. looks just like his dad now. He's very old like his dad. And I think that what we're watching here is they're all attending their future funerals because they're all going to, they've done some terrible things. And if justice were to happen, they all would probably be in jail for life or the more permanent answer. Yeah, they're attending their own funeral in the future, and you can tell it in their face. You can just see it. They're all looking around going, I wonder who's next. Who will be next? Who will be next? And was Cheney maybe executed by firing squad or something? I don't know. From a secret military tribunal? I don't know. Seditious behavior punishable by death. Oh, here is Brian Romelade put this out. This is McKinnon Galloway. She show you how to become unstoppable. Watch this.
When I was 18, I had my first brain surgery. It was really tough, but I moved forward. When I was 21, I had my second brain surgery. Again, also terrifying, but I was back in college in 10 days. When I was 23, I had a grand mal seizure and I was diagnosed with epilepsy. When I was 25, my dad took his life. That one shattered me, but eventually I picked up the pieces and I moved forward. When I was 29 completely broke me. I had my third and fourth brain surgery. My eye rolled inwards. I got complete paralysis on this side. I had a cerebral stroke and I lost all of my hearing. I am completely deaf. So I couldn't really see. I could barely walk. I couldn't really speak. And I definitely couldn't hear at all. And it was the first time I remember thinking, how much does a person have to go through? I can't do this. I'm done. And I stayed in that mindset for a really long time because I remember looking in the mirror and it was like this stranger looking back. I knew I wasn't moving forward, but I also knew it wasn't healthy staying exactly where I was. But one day it dawned on me. I couldn't stay in the same mindset that wasn't helping me heal. So I had to fix my focus. So I had to change. I can't do this till figure it out. And once you do that, that is so unbelievably powerful because you stop staring at doors that won't open and all of a sudden these windows do solutions. So I started working with some of the top deaf technology companies in the world. I went to studio therapy, I went to speech therapy, and I finally got back the life that I thought I had lost. So my advice to you, if you're struggling with something, stop saying, I can't do this, and start saying, I'll figure it out. Because once you do that, you're unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Look at her. Oh my God. She's such an inspiration. Wow. She's had so many brain surgeries. She's deaf. Half of her face doesn't work. And you can see her right arm wasn't moving. So, but she is just a glowing example of what can happen when you decide, hey, I'm just going to figure it out. Wow. What an inspiration she is. That's so fantastic. And Liz Crokin says, I told you years ago that President Trump is the only reason Jeffrey Epstein was arrested in 2019. And I also told you that Trump would finish the job he started and take down the Epstein's entire ring. Check this out.
President Trump did more than any president in history to combat human trafficking. Okay? That is 100% a fact. And you know what he's been saying on the campaign trail? That he is going to continue fighting it and saving these kids from sex trafficking. And the media refused to cover what that man did to combat child sex trafficking his entire presidency. Okay? Now, why? Because they know that he is going to finish the job he started his first term. And that includes the elites and all the cabal members that are involved in Jeffrey Epstein's ring. Okay? So get the word out about President Trump and what he did to combat child sex trafficking, because people don't know about it. Mike and I did a video, Trump's War on Human Trafficking. You can find it on my X page. You can find it on my Rumble page. I detail everything that he did to combat human trafficking, taking down Nexium, taking down Backpage, taking down Epstein. Hello, do you think that would have happened if Hillary won? I don't think so. Ghislaine Maxwell, he took down the cartels, MS-13, CJNG. They were doing military operations during COVID, saving children. He did more than any president. And that's the real reason they hate him. And that's why we must make sure that man gets back in office so he can finish the job he started and save the children. I had to get that off my chest.
She is so awesome. And hello to Operation Shutdown, because we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. Good to see you, buddy. And here's the sun. Look at this. Just went ballistic. Gigantic plasma ejections from the northern and southern hemispheres, nearly simultaneously. Look at that. Interesting, huh? Oh, and there's our last show. Yep, there's our last show. Well, that does it, folks. That does it. So that's the end of our 700th show. How do you like them apples? Oh, and yeah. Operation Shutdown says, we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. Yes, it certainly is. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming on by. Oh, crap, I forgot mod duty. Oops. Uh-oh. Thanks for hanging out with us. Knock my socks off. And Operation Shutdown says, congrats on 700 shows. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Actually, I've done more than 700 shows if you count all the shows I did with Andy, because those aren't following the numeration of the other ones. And Knock My Socks Off says, thanks, Aaron and chat. Much love, fam, and God's blessings to all. Patriots, plant you now, dig you later. That's awesome. And she also says, had fun. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? And Crown Viewer says, great show, Aaron. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Cap 78 Pack says, thanks for stopping by, KMS. Oh, see you later. And then Kathy says, good night, everyone. And I'll make my thank you all so very much. And never give up, and always, and never give up. I didn't give up on my keyboard, and it's working now. It's been working for quite a while, so I'm very happy about that. And Operation Shutdown says, I will keep my camera pointed to the sky so I can take a picture of that UFO, that crazy UFO, and come on to the Truth Quest and talk about it. Yes, awesome. Oh, and it looks like we have a lurker. Hello. It's Siomen Snowlock. Lurker here. Thanks for a great evening. Well, thank you for chiming in. Appreciate that. Don't forget to like and share, everybody. That's all we can do, I guess. Thank you all so very much. And Cap 78 Pack, great show, Aaron. God bless you all. Happy Thanksgiving. Much love and peace in the whole world. Yes, peace in. Peace in, baby. Peace in, baby. Everyone knows. Oh, yeah. So keep your cameras pointed to the sky so you can take a picture of that crazy UFO. And come on to the Truth Quest and talk about it. Even if it's just a model kit of a UFO. Oh, you might just see it lurking on your shelf. Hey, I built that a long time ago and it's still here. Must be aliens. Must be aliens. Well, we'll see you when I get back from Thanksgiving. Have a great Thanksgiving. I don't know exactly when I'll be back. We usually do Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays because we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. But since this is, I'm traveling, I won't be near my confuser. I won't be able to do a show for the next couple of shows. Hopefully I'll be back before too long. And we'll see you again, and we'll keep questing for that truth. And then Siomen's Snowlock, Simon, if you want, book character. Simon, if you want, book character. Oh, okay. Good to see you, Simon. And Operation Shutdown says, have a great Thanksgiving, Aaron. You too, buddy. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving as well. And then Piggy Dancer says, welcome, Simon. And then, oh, Jay Byings is here too. Stay paranormal, Aaron. I'm trying. And then Simon says, thank you. Oh, you're very welcome. All right. And then Cap 78 Pack says, have a safe trip and let mom and family know we are praying and thinking of them at Aaron. Well, thank you so much, Peggy. I really appreciate that. And I will. All right, folks. We'll see you when I get back, whenever that might be. It's either going to be a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday in the future. In the future, peace in. We're getting it, baby. World peace. It's coming. It's coming fast. And we can't wait, can we? All right. There's the information on the book. 9-book series. Okay. Tad Williams, Memory Sorrow, Thorn 9-book series. Okay. Interesting. Peace in. See you later, Truth Questers.